Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about 10 unrealistic things in Emergency Hamburg. So I've written a list of 10 things that I think are just extremely unrealistic in this game. Yeah, I'm just going to talk through each of them and tell you why I think that. Yeah, let's just get into the first one. Make sure you subscribe. The first one, actually, it's right at the fuel station right here. If I just head on inside and go over to the cash register and open it, you're going to see that a chocolate chip cookie costs 900 euros, okay? That is extremely unrealistic, okay? In real life, and the energy drink. In real life, I wouldn't be walking into a shop and, grabbing a cookie and paying 900 euros in real, world money for a chocolate chip cookie. I wonder what the most expensive cookie in the world is. I mean, it can't be far off that, surely. 900 is ridiculous. Okay, yeah, I get that, okay? They need to make it kind of, tied into the economy, and the economy is very inflated in this game, so yes, it should be higher, but still, it's very unrealistic, and you would not find a cookie that costs that much in real life. Or maybe you would, I don't know. Maybe they're actually selling us the highest quality cookies in the world. We don't really know. I mean, it looks pretty basic to me. It looks pretty basic. I mean, look at this. I mean, they give you a health boost. I don't know if it can do that in real life. That's also unrealistic. Anyway, yeah, that's my point. Okay, the prices are ridiculous. I get why they do that. Obviously, they got to balance things out, but yeah, it's unrealistic. Okay, moving on to the next one. This one is really annoying, and I hate this feature of this game so much. It's not even a feature. It's just something that developers just haven't fixed. I don't know if they're gonna ever sort this out, but it's just the fact that if you hit a sign, it just stops your entire car from going through this like little metal thing. It stops your entire car, does a bunch of damage to it, and there's literally nothing you can do. And you'd think, oh yeah, they should fall over, or you should be able to go through them, but look at that. Unless you just hit this going like 200 kilometers an hour, you hit this very thin, extremely thin metal pole, and it just stands there. It just does not move at all. Like, what are they building these out of, man? Like, they're literally indestructible. But yeah, that is extremely unrealistic. In real life, that thing would just go flat down, and I would just plow through it. But in this game, they just, for some reason, they have to stop you, right? For some reason, they have to stop you. Anyway, yeah, that's my rant finished. Moving on to the next point. Okay, the next thing I've written down, another one at the fuel station. It's actually how you refuel your car. So, as you know, to refuel your car, you literally just come up to a pump, and then you just like walk up to it and hold E. A fuel vehicle for 12 euros. But yeah, this isn't realistic because, well, okay, first of all, I'm just literally holding E, but secondly, there's nothing attached to the car, it just magically fills up. But actually, it would be cool if you could like press E to grab a fuel line, and then once you got the line in your hand, obviously bring it over to the, wherever the cap is. I don't even see one on here. Bring it to wherever the cap is, and then obviously like, plug it in, then start fueling, and it would say like how much it costs. But obviously, the game's not that advanced. I get why that's not a feature either. Still, okay, my point still stands. It's a valid point. It's unrealistic, okay? You cannot just, I cannot bring my keyboard to a fuel pump, plug it into like a USB slot on the fuel pump, and then hold E down on the keyboard. It doesn't work like that, okay? It doesn't work like that in real life, but apparently it does in this game, so that is something unrealistic about Emergency Hamburg. Yeah, that was a bit of a stupid one, but, you get my point. It's unrealistic, okay? You should be able to connect a fuel line. Anyway, moving on to the next one. This one is just like, you probably will have no idea what I'm talking about, but there's actually, I don't know if you know, but there's a power station in this game, and I do have some complaints about it. There's like a huge like power plant. I'm gonna show you. So if you want to check this out, you might not even know that this existed. If you come down this little dirt road here on the map, and you actually turn into this like kind of fenced off area, there's actually a power generation station, but I do have a couple issues with this, okay? It's not very realistic. I'm just gonna say that already, okay? So let's look at this closely, okay? So you can see that it comes out of the station and it goes onto the main, grid, and that obviously gets distributed down to the city. But the problem is the source of the power is where it gets a bit unrealistic, okay? So it comes off this main pylon here, and it connects to this, okay? Already this is looking a bit sketchy, okay? So yeah, it doesn't look right. Then it goes here, then it goes here, then it goes here, and then it just connects to this, and then where does it go after that? It doesn't go anywhere. So you're telling me that the entire Hamburg city is pulling power from some generator that doesn't actually exist. So okay, I know that this is kind of stupid and it's definitely not something that the developers care about, but I'm just saying, hey, unrealistic. Okay, that's unrealistic. Look, it goes nowhere. It goes to this little like stick. I don't know what this is, but definitely not a source of power. So basically the entire city of Hamburg is being powered off this little pole right here. That is what the developers are implying with this connection. Okay, yeah, okay, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's unrealistic. Okay, you wouldn't see that in real life, would you? Anyway, let's move on to the next one. So this next one I've written down is just the amount of dealers everywhere you go. Okay, in real life you aren't gonna go around a city. Okay, maybe in real life, yes, there's gonna be a lot of illicit dealers in the city, but not like this much. Like everywhere you drive, a new one pops up. Look, there you go. See, another one just popped up there, and they're just everywhere, and they're in stupid locations as well. Like for example, this one, I don't know, like what even is this? Like this guy is just waiting at a construction site in the middle of like a popular road and motorway, and he's just standing here, like, and they're everywhere. They are everywhere. Honestly, it's not very realistic, is it? It's not very realistic. I get that, for the game, obviously they need them everywhere, so ease of access for players, but obviously in real life it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, and I think police should be able to arrest them or something, but obviously they're not gonna add that because then it just kind of ruins the point of the game, doesn't it? But anyway, let's just move on to the next one. So my next point is when you rob a cash register, okay, there's something a bit unrealistic about that kind of operation. So I'm here at Also Fuel right now, okay, and if I just go inside, all right, and let's say I want to rob this, okay, so obviously firstly this is just unrealistic, punching the cash register with your bare fists, okay, and the second thing is that the cash just explodes out of the register. Like, come on, that doesn't make any sense at all, and then you have to go pick it up, but like what is making it explode out of the register and you punching the metal with your bare fist? Like, it doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't make sense, and that is why that is a very unrealistic thing in Emergency Hamburg, okay, because that doesn't make any sense. Obviously, like the other ones, it's a game, and not everything's gonna make sense, but just thought I'd add that, okay, because it doesn't make sense, okay. You're not doing that in real life. All right, so this next one is it's about the container robbery, okay, at the harbour. All right, I've got a few problems with that as well. All right, so if we come down to the harbour here, okay, there are some issues on the ship. Okay, there's some issues, okay. So if I just, walk up the stairs here, alright. So I just come up the stairs here, okay. This is about the robbery. It's about the robbery. If I come over here, okay, this does not make sense, okay. Again, I know it's a game, but come on. Seriously, like, bro, you got the, all the cargo here, then you just got this one, like, random thing, just, like, sitting in the middle of this bay area with a little, like, alarm mounted to the roof, and then you just got this, like, chained up door. Come on, man. They're not gonna do that on a ship in real life. Also, the alarm is not, the containers are not gonna have a flashing and sounding, beacon attached to the roof. Come on. It's not gonna happen. Is it? Like, the other ones, do they have that? No. You're not going to see a functioning alarm system on a container in real life. Maybe, okay, but not like that with a little flashing light on the roof. That's just ridiculous. Obviously the developers have just copied this from the bank and all the other robberies, and this looks like the same model they use on the police car, for God's sake. I mean, it's clear that this has just kind of been thrown together, and it's not really realistic at all, okay, especially just putting planks over it and expecting it not to blow up. That's also unrealistic, okay. If you put planks over something, it's not going to help an explosion, is it? Anyway, yeah, that's that. All right, now the next unrealistic thing, this one could be unrealistic and it can also be realistic, okay. So it's right here, okay, and it's about the vending machines, okay. So this vending machine in particular, it's got literally two things inside. I mean, I don't know, I put this on a list because I just feel like you don't see vending machines in real life that have like two single cookies inside them. you just don't see that. That's something unrealistic. Okay, this should be like full to the brim. The machine owner should be restocking it, but apparently, oh yeah, there's only 2 left. And yeah, I get that this is so you can't make that much money from this robbery, but obviously, again, something you wouldn't see in real life. So that is why this is on the unrealistic list in Emergency Hamburg. But yeah, just small one there. But yeah, it's unrealistic. Okay. All right, now moving on to number 9. Okay, 9 out of 10. This one is there's just CCTV. Okay, closed circuit television in just the most random places. So I've picked this example. Okay, like look at this. Okay. There is a CCTV camera, okay, mounted to a fence, random metal fence, okay. I'm not gonna lie, okay, this is not the kind of fence where you'd mount a camera to. Like, how are they feeding the data cable? Is it going like through this pole? Like, it's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Attached to this random fence. And also, the police can just view all of them, every single shop in the game on an app on their phone. Like, that's not realistic. Police aren't gonna have access to CCTV for every single business in the country. It's just not gonna be like that, is it? And just the way this is mounted is just stupid. Okay, there would never be a camera mounted like that to a chain link fence. It just would not happen. Okay, so yeah, that is something unrealistic. The CCTV in this game, it just doesn't work like that. Okay, just doesn't work like that in real life, but I get why it's being used like that in the game, and I think it works quite effectively in Emergency Hamburg, but obviously it's unrealistic. Okay, anyway, moving on to the very last unrealistic thing about Emergency Hamburg, number 10. It's actually here at the prison. Okay, so the prison is in a weird location, so obviously it's fine, looking here, but when you come out here, okay, a prison in real life, they're not gonna just throw it right next to a huge, residential area. For example, there's a church right next to it, okay, and there's a pavement, and you can literally just walk right up to the exterior wall. It's just not happening, is it? There's residential houses people live in right next to a prison. Like, that's not how it works in real life. There's gonna be some space. It's probably gonna be like a big, area of fields around the prison, so it's not easy for criminals to hide and escape in real life, if they were to escape. But yeah, that's just not how it would work. Like, you got the prison here, and it's just surrounded by residential sector. Like, there's a main road here, main tunnel, flats, residential buildings just next to this big prison. That is just something unrealistic about Emergency Hamburg. It's just the positioning of that, and I get why they've done that. Okay, obviously the church only came in the recent update, so there was actually nothing there before. So that would have been a bit more realistic before, but obviously now things are a bit more crowded, and it is a game, so I understand. But anyway, that was 10 unrealistic things in Emergency Hamburg. Hopefully you agreed with me on most of them. I don't know, maybe I have misjudged some things. Let me know in the comments your opinions on those. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and goodbye.